Professor, in the past, after violence rocked different towns in America, you've talked about how the US president was parking, and I quote, the darker angels and deepest fears of white people and exploiting cultural insecurities daily. Today, it's different. This is the US president up pretty much against a whistleblower. What is the power of a lone single whistleblower in today's America?
I thought that with this whistleblower and with the second whistleblower, that we would see more people in the Trump administration come out. We would see more people who were once in the Trump administration. I'm really interested in whether or not General Mattis will say something, or General McMaster will say something, or former Secretary Nielsen. All of these folk who have been a part of what, by all accounts, is a disastrous administration. So I'm not sure. The man seems to be like Teflon in terms of these things. And then we have a lot of our politicians just seem to lack courage. That it's not just simply the disaster that is Trump in the White House, but when we look around, when we look at our representatives in Congress and in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, it seems to be a general, one could make a general judgment that we are bereft of statesmen and women. So I don't know what the effects of the whistleblower will be. It's triggered an impeachment inquiry, which may very well be a rebranding of what was already happening.
You talked about those who were in the Trump administration, who are now out, and who are still silent. Why might that be?
I don't know. It's baffling. Trump sits at the sweet spot of two things in the U.S. It's the intersection of greed and self-interest and racism. And he sits right in between the two, exploiting them. And so we have a large number of folk who may reject his racist appeals, but they love his policies because, in fact, over the course of these last 2 years, the oligarchs have been robbing the nation's coffers blind. The tax cut, what we've been seeing in terms of deregulation, they have literally been filling their pockets on the backs of everyday ordinary Americans and on the back of the planet in some ways. So greed and self-interest. And then there's the kind of populist racist appeal. And so you would think that those who have left office, who don't have to run for re-election, who have really no skin in the game, would come out and say something. But many of these folk are institutionalists. So they think that they have to, in some ways, behave in a way that's in accordance with the norms and values of the institution. And ironically, Trump banks on them doing so, because their commitment to the institution allows him to be the carnival barker that he is.